Good morning, Twin Cities. Welcome to your Sunday morning, and we're glad to have you here. This is Reckoning with Real Estate, a show about the American dream and building a better real estate company. We are here today with Taylor, and Taylor is a realtor with the Real Estate Collaborative, and she is here in her capacity as the owner of Evergreen Collective, which is a store in St. Paul that is no waste and a refill store. It's actually a really great store. And I'm going to have Taylor just kind of kick us off. We're going to be talking about third spaces today. And Taylor, why don't you say hello to everyone?
Yes.
Introduce
Hello.
yourself.
My name is Taylor, and like Paige said, I am a realtor with the Real Estate Collaborative, but for the past 3 years, I have owned Evergreen Collective in St. Paul on Grand Ave, and we're all about trying to make it really easy for our community to find more sustainable everyday essentials. So we sell things in bulk, so you get to skip bringing plastic home, which is my kind of oddly favorite part, is that I just get to take out the trash and recycling less because there's less bottles to manage, and I hate dealing with trash. And so that I can help people not do that is great. So we've got everything from hand soap. We do like bulk conditioner. We do a lot of solid options. So we're not even doing like liquid refills for a lot of things. They're like waterless concentrates. But I also have a whole home goods section that's plastic free. And we try to do fair trade or vintage items as well, which I also am obsessed with vintage goods.
Yes.
Owning a store feeds my shopping addiction without bringing things home.
Yeah. Well, and I love your vintage section. You have some really wonderful kind of kitchen stuff and houseware stuff. And also, I'll give a shout out for my favorite product right now is I call them toothpaste pills, but I think they're the tablets.
Yep.
And they're just little and they're cute. And you can put them in a really cute container in your bathroom, and you just take one, pop it in your mouth, chew it around, and then brush your teeth. And they're minty and lovely. And you don't, you know how when you squeeze toothpaste onto your toothbrush, it's either not enough or it's way too much.
Yep.
And so this is like portion control. So shout out for the toothpaste pills.
That's one of my favorites as well. They're very easy to use, which is nice, and less messy.
Yeah.
Which I need because even though I sell cleaning supplies, I'm a relatively messy person, which cracks me up all the time. But yeah, Paige is having me here today on Reckoning with Real Estate to talk about third spaces, which I consider Evergreen Collective to be one. And third spaces are places, I guess it's not a third space for me, but it is for the community because it's not work and it's not home. It's the in-between places, like the parks that we gather in, restaurants that you go to. I go to the White Squirrel a lot, so I consider that to be one of my favorite third places.
Yeah.
And for a lot of folks, I think Evergreen Collective is also a third space. I like that we're building a little community there. And unfortunately, one of my not as strong skill sets is remembering names and faces. But when people come back again and again and again, I'm getting to remember their names and faces. And I think since opening the store, I've been in St. Paul for about 8 years now, and I don't think I really felt a true sense of community until I opened the store. Like I've always had really close friends, but not those acquaintances, and just a bigger, broader sense of what it means to live in St. Paul and live in a community.
And your store is, just for people listening, it's in the retail area of Grand Avenue. So it's right at Lexington, right across the street from the Lexington restaurant, which is a St. Paul classic. And so it's really nice, that people can come and do multiple shopping things and maybe stop and have a little bite to eat. And your store also is a really great size. And it really fosters that kind of sense of community because it's not overwhelmingly large. Like I was at Lowe's last night with my son. it's too big. I
Yeah.
don't like it. And it was a ghost town. And
Yeah.
we couldn't even find an employee to answer
Oh,
questions
no.
for us. It was very bizarre. And it did not feel like community. Whereas I
Yeah.
can go into your store and hang out there for like 30 minutes, sit down on the couch, chat,
Yeah.
watch you in action with your customers. It's great.
Yeah, no, and I love that about it. And then, yeah, we do have a couch for that reason. So that way, if people want to just sit and rest while their other people shop, they can do that. We've got
Yeah.
some games and toys for kids to play while their parents do all of the refills. And
Yeah.
it really feels just like an important, just like small local businesses in general, not just Evergreen Collective, that are kind of that like fabric of our community where you get to meet people. And I just enjoy having longer conversations.
Yeah.
And I love kind of when it is a little bit slower, and I get to do that with my customers.
Yeah.
And
I know you
Yeah.
just celebrated your 3
Yep, September
years.
16th.
Yep. And you had you have events there and like parties and stuff. And I
Yeah.
believe you had one the Saturday before.
Yep. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we had one the Saturday before. It was really fun. I made this like little spin-a wheel for bonus discounts.
Oh,
and then
cool.
we donated 10% of sales to the Good Acre, which is a local food nonprofit that we
Mhm.
also partner with for CSA pickups. So community supported agriculture, where you buy your vegetables well in advance, and then you get to pick them up every single week, which is another fun way that I get to know people.
Yeah.
As I get to see everybody every single week.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's local. It's all local produce,
It's all local
right?
with
And like
the Good
seasonal.
Acre. Yep.
So you might get like 5 eggplants. I mean, that's an exaggeration. You're not going to get 5, but
A couple.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're so pretty and so yucky. I don't like eggplants, but
They are pretty.
they're so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a fun CSA. Yeah. They partner with over 150 micro farmers throughout the Twin Cities metro
wow.
area. So a lot of a lot of farms are like 1 acre or less. So they're really tiny. And I love that we get to just support other local businesses
Mm-hmm.
by doing the CSA pickup. So we partner with them on Thursdays, and then we do partner with the Night Owl, which is a farm up in North Branch,
Oh.
on Wednesdays. And they deliver theirs in little baskets, and it's so cute.
So they deliver the fruits and vegetables as well? It's like is it a separate CSA or
It
is it
is.
part of
It's 2 different businesses
okay.
that we work with. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you get really, really beautiful flowers as well.
That's from Night Owl Farms.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was the beneficiary of some flowers several weeks ago because people, oddly enough, don't come in and always pick up their stuff.
Yep.
And you were traveling around in your car with
Yep.
lots of vegetables and flowers, and yeah,
Yep.
they were gorgeous.
That is how I spend my evenings some nights now, is I deliver my veggies to family and friends. And
Yeah.
recently I've been just giving them to customers.
Oh, yeah.
So if you come in on a Friday, you might get some veggies. Yeah, and I just, going back to third spaces, like in particular, like how I view Evergreen Collective as, which is one reason why I wanted to open like an in-person physical store, was to meet people and like better educate my neighbors. And I just feel like with shopping online, it can be like just a lot, and like
Yeah.
you get decision fatigue. There's like way too many options.
Yeah.
It's not personable. So I really wanted to do an in-person store to just truly make it easy for people to find these more sustainable
Yeah.
options.
And people can also find you online if
They
they once they discover your store and know what products they like, they can order from you online. So how do they find you online?
Yeah, so they can find me it's a weird website. It's www.ecoevergreen.co, not com.co.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna go back to some of my notes that I took.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just going down all sorts
No,
of
I love it.
roads.
You're really promoting my shop, and I appreciate it. Yeah, but like, I really just think and doing some research, when like bigger stores and like more big parking lots, and when we have the decline of these third spaces where you just kind of like casually interact with your neighbors, because there's been
Mhm.
moments at the store where people like are friends that they just run into each other. Like they didn't know they were going to be there. You just see your friend and say hi.
Right.
And with the decline of smaller businesses and third spaces, it does correlate with the rise in like loneliness in
Mhm.
the Twin Cities, which reduces our like mental and physical health as a society. And
Mhm.
one other really sad thing is that see, I get too sad all the time.
Oh, there's a lot to be sad
There's a
about
lot to
in
be
the
sad
world right
about.
now, but
And just like thinking about like not just businesses, because third places are not just places where you have to spend money, like they're parks and beaches and all these public spaces that are free. Um, and I know when you drive around and our infrastructure is always being changed, but when like they're restricting access to bathrooms, or they're putting up benches that make it so you can't lay down on it, they're like dividing benches
oh,
to
really?
try
I
and
hadn't
keep
even
like
thought of that.
houseless folks out
Yeah,
of like those areas, those public
right.
spaces. That also reduces like the enjoyment of everybody.
Sure.
So it's it affects everybody, and it makes these spaces not as inviting,
Right.
which also leads to the rise of loneliness
Right.
in our society. And the more car dependent we become, and I mean, I could just go on and on and on about how we need more like walkable, bikeable
Yeah.
cities. And that's one reason why I really love working with the Real Estate Collaborative, is because you're really focused on building more affordable housing, which does tend to be smaller, closer together,
Mhm.
advocating for tiny homes being built,
Mhm.
denser populations, because those tend to be tighter knit communities where you gather at these public spaces, you shop from the local stores.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and I want to see more of that.
Well, yeah, and I do when I shop, I try to think of shopping smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And for that very reason, I enjoy going into smaller shops.
Yeah.
And, it just feels more personable. It feels more comfortable. It feels like I'm supporting something good rather than feeling like I'm supporting the man and big corporation.
Yeah.
So I so appreciate that about your store. And we're going to head into break here, and we'll pick it up on the other side. You're listening to Reckoning with Real Estate, a show about the American dream and building a better real estate company. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Wrecking balls inside, bringing down the light. Every swing you take might not.
Welcome back to Reckoning with Real Estate. I'm Paige Kale with the Real Estate Collaborative, and you can find us at www.therecolab.com, short for the Real Estate Collaborative. And today we are here with Taylor Hall. She's also with the Real Estate Collaborative, and today she is here talking about third spaces. And she is here in her capacity as the owner of Evergreen Collective, which is a store in St. Paul that focuses on sustainability and is a refill shop. So before the break, we were talking about community,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of that's what third spaces help create. And you define that really, really well. When you said you wanted to talk about third spaces today, I wasn't sure what that meant, and I was going to Google it, and then I was like, well, let's just have Taylor let me know what that means. So it means it's not home, it's not work, it's a third space, and
Mm-hmm.
it's where community is built. So it could be like you mentioned, like a park, it can be a shop like Evergreen Collective.
Mm-hmm.
And how that benefits community in a multitude of ways, including financially.
Yes. Yeah. So when you like, I mean, and we're all aware, I think, that when you shop small, like, it's better for the community. But I think it when you're not a small business owner, you might not feel it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't, like, it sounds like a really lovely and beautiful idea, but maybe it doesn't, it's not like a tangible thing that means something to you. But as somebody who has been running a small local business for the past 3 years, I can say that when you shop at my store, the money is staying in St. Paul.
Mhm.
Like, not only are we paying local taxes, and we pay a lot of local taxes.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a common complaint of
yes.
St. Paul. But
Yeah. But it's fine, because we're doing good things. But also, like, then in return, I pay my staff member, and they spend their money locally. I try to spend my money locally and shop small whenever possible. I do a lot of secondhand, so that goes to a lot of other, like, smaller businesses and estates and
Mhm.
just people in the community. And it really, it makes such a difference with, like, just like 2 extra sales a day.
Yeah.
And our ability to pay rent and pay our staff member and pay ourselves so we can afford rent and
Yep.
food. And
you know where the
Yeah.
money's going.
Yeah.
You know that it's staying local. And I know, well, I have a question for you.
Oh,
but,
please.
how often do you shop? This is like going all the way to the other end of the spectrum. How often do you shop on Amazon?
I probably shop on Amazon once or twice a year.
Yeah. Okay. Same here.
Yeah.
I try not to shop on Amazon
Yeah.
too much, because kind of what we're talking about, you don't know where the money's going.
Yeah.
I mean, you assume it's going into the pockets of Jeff Bezos, at least some of it. But
Yeah.
and I know they employ a ton of people, and there's good there.
Yes.
So once or twice a year. Okay. How about other online places?
I really don't shop online all that often.
Yeah.
I try to do, like, Etsy or eBay
Mm-hmm.
if possible.
Mm-hmm.
eBay has a lot of secondhand stuff, and that's a part of my sustainability thing, is I try not to buy new as much as possible.
Sure. Yeah.
My one big thing, it's in person, but it's not going to be popular, but I'm such a builder and a maker that I need an alternative to Menards. If anybody has any suggestions.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah. How about like Fratelloni's
Yeah.
Hardware on Grand
Yes.
Avenue?
Yeah,
I go there a lot.
We go there. Yeah, that's a great alternative. Yes. There's 2 of them right by my store.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. In fact, I think they might. Are they Ace Hardware now? Did they switch from
They bought it out.
Fratelloni's bought. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good. That's
Yeah,
a good
so they're
place.
no
and they're
longer-
so helpful there. They're almost too helpful.
They're great.
Yeah.
That's where I got all of the paint for when I was painting Evergreen Collective, and I feel like
yeah.
I got to know the paint guy.
Which is so cute. Your store is so cute. It's green and orange, but it doesn't look like a pumpkin. And yellow. You have yellow
Yes,
in there too.
we do
It's
have yellow.
Really, really cute. And there's always music playing, and
Yeah.
it's
We
great.
always try to play good local music and
Mhm. Lots of Prince.
Lots of
You play a lot of
Prince.
Prince.
I do
which
play a lot
love.
of Prince.
Yeah.
It wins over everybody. Nobody's ever complained about the music.
Yeah.
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 Although if I'm feeling a specific way, you might catch me listening to one of my favorite local bands that they're not a band anymore, called the Good Time Gals.
Oh, I don't know them. What
Um,
kind of music is it?
It's like Western swing.
Oh,
You probably like them.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
a swing dancer too.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. So that their music always gets me motivated to, like, get up and clean,
Oh,
because I can dance while I'm doing it, or move a little bit.
yeah. I'll have to check them
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. And what else? Why don't you talk a little bit, because another way you create community and a third space with your store, the Evergreen Collective, is you have a number of events there. I've noticed. I've known you a short time, since you joined REC earlier
Yeah.
this year. But talk a little bit about the different kind of community events that folks could expect at your store.
Yeah, I truly love hosting events at the shop. And we've done a wide variety of them. I used to host home goods swaps. I don't do those anymore
Why not?
because I don't like dealing with things.
Too much stuff.
Too much stuff. Yes, it's something that I think is really wonderful and really beautiful, but I didn't have the energy to maintain it. Because it required me to move things around a lot more than I already do as a retail store owner. And there are some really great places that you can go to do something similar around the Twin Cities. I'm really trying to figure out what our role is and like besides just being a store, like what's the problem we can solve. And so kind of my events are a way to like test that out and see what fits. So we've also done classes with Junket, Tossed and Found, which is a 100% like reused.
I love them.
I love them. I hope to host some things with Julie in the future.
Yeah.
Those ones I love. I love it when experts can come into my space and teach classes. So if you're an expert and you want to teach a class on something at Evergreen Collective, you can do it. I would love to have you.
Yeah. Well, why don't you give your website one more time?
Yeah. And so you can, find my email at www.ecoevergreen.co. Or if you just Google Evergreen Collective St. Paul, it'll pop up
and you
there
have
as well.
And you have a really great newsletter that you send out too. Taylor's really phenomenal at writing very fun newsletters. So
thank you.
Yeah, if you want to subscribe to her newsletter, I would recommend doing that.
Yeah, we try to be helpful.
Very helpful.
Yeah. And then upcoming, transitioning a little bit into my role as a realtor, I'm hosting some classes with Tina Hagen, a local lender, on homeownership and how to get started in a more sustainable way. We've got one coming up the first week of October, the first Thursday of October, and then we'll have another one the first Thursday of November with Tina Hagen. So if you're interested in becoming a first-time homeowner or second-time homeowner and you just kind of want to like learn about it all again, Tina's amazing. And I'm looking forward to hosting those classes with her at the store. So in person, where you can really engage and ask questions. I'm a big proponent of in-person things.
Yes.
Which makes sense.
Yes. I think a lot of us are, especially after COVID and having to kind of self-isolate, which I know there are a lot of people that agree with me. I did not hate self-isolating. But I also appreciate that we're free now to roam about where we want to go and to these third spaces.
Yes.
Yeah. And Taylor is also, I just want to say, responsible for Taylor and her store for us being here at AM 950. One of the gals here who also has a radio show on Saturday mornings about food, Laura. What's Laura's last name, Brett? Laura
Headland.
Laura Headland. It's a great show on Saturday mornings, but she found Evergreen Collective and reached out to you, and then you reached out to REC, and then that's how this kind of all came together. So that was the Real Estate Collaborative and Evergreen Collective. There's a lot of overlap in terms of values and community being one of them. And I loved what you said a little bit ago about wanting to solve a problem.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite quotes is, if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. And that's a lot of what guides REC and kind of the decisions we make in terms of how to run the business and how to be realtors running around in the world. And so anyway, I appreciate that you were the connection to AM 950 because this is fun.
Yes, it is. And I just want to piggyback what you said about REC. I know we've talked about this before, but as I was telling people that I was going to get my real estate license because I love homes, and And so far I've loved 99% of being a realtor.
You can say 90%. That's
Yeah.
still pretty good.
Yeah. It's delightful. It's absolutely delightful. But I was getting a lot of like, you're doing what? Like, what's happening here? This doesn't seem like you would be a realtor.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, but I'm going to work with this amazing company in brokerage, the Real Estate Collaborative, and it's not just about buying and selling homes. It's so much more than that. It's about making the industry more fair, more equitable, more transparent,
Mhm.
really being consumer focused. And like you said, that's just such a values alignment with my
Mhm.
store.
Yeah, it's been a really great partnership so far.
Yeah.
And that is our signal that the time is running out for today. But thank you for being here. And as one of the sponsors of the radio show, you'll be back
Yes.
and we'll talk about other things.
Mhm.
But thank you to the listeners for joining us today. Reckoning with Real Estate, a show about the American dream and building a better real estate company. And we hope to see you next Sunday.
Yeah.